Hi, I'm Andy, a collection specialist at Credit Sage, and my goal is to help people learn how they can remove American Recovery Service from their credit report. And, in many cases, this is without paying the debt at all. So if that's you or even someone you know, I'm confident that you're going to walk away from this video knowing what the next best step is to take. Now, this doesn't mean that you shouldn't take action. For example, if you know or you believe that American Recovery Service or any of the accounts on your credit report are the result of identity theft or have a wrong balance after you've already paid, or any major issues that are really affecting your life, you may be owed a settlement. And we work with a network of local attorneys that will work on your behalf at zero cost, win or lose, in addition to getting the accounts deleted permanently. But if no issues like that exist, which is great, but you just want the account removed from your credit report, we can help with that too. You can just give us a call today. You'll find our number in the description area below. And with that, I want to go through the most important questions that we get about this company. And firstly, this is really important, is can you be arrested or get jail time for a debt with American Recovery Service? Now, I put this one at the top of the list because we get a lot of callers that are terrified that this could happen. And honestly, it makes sense because few people are taught how credit and debt work in school. I didn't know the answer to this question until I got into the business. And fortunately, unless the debt is related to specifically unpaid taxes or unpaid child support, you cannot be arrested or get jail time. So no need to worry about that whatsoever. The other thing is the amount of the debt doesn't matter either. You could refuse to pay $1,000 or $1 million, and it will not cause you to be arrested or get jail time. Okay. So now, who is American Recovery Service and why are they on your credit report? Well, they're referred to as a debt collector or credit collection agency. And what they do is they buy debts, unpaid accounts like credit cards, for example, often for very cheap, and then they try to collect the full amount. Okay. So here's an example. Let's say, for a moment that you, for whatever reason, have an unpaid card with Capital One, and it's $1,000. American Recovery Service could, in theory, come along and buy that debt for just $100. But they don't try to collect that amount. They try to collect the full $1,000 from you, which gives them a 10x return on their investment. So, these companies make a lot of money. And damaging your credit score by reporting the debt to your credit report is the primary strategy that they have to get you to pay. However, again, a lot of people don't realize this, is that paying a debt on your credit report does not remove the account attached to it. That account will sit there for 7 years, damaging your score, paid or not. So a lot of time, paying it isn't actually in your best interest. It could just be a waste of money. In rare cases, I'll say paying the debt, I've seen, can even hurt your score further. But in addition to credit reporting, they may send scary letters, call a lot, even calling your family members and colleagues. And if a collector has ever threatened you or harassed you during non-business hours, you may be owed a lawsuit. So again, that's another case. You'd want to give us a call so we can connect you with a local specialist that will take action quickly. Should you negotiate a settlement with American Recovery Service? I'll say this, settling your debt with American Recovery Service, I think depends on your goal. Typically, if you're wanting to improve your credit score, paying isn't the best option. And the reason is just what I mentioned before. Even if you pay the collection, it will remain on your credit report for 7 years. damaging your score that whole time. Okay? So instead, we always recommend that you just work with an expert like us. And we can review these accounts for you. And if certain issues exist, then the accounts may be removed. This is a win-win, okay? Because you won't have to waste money paying a debt that won't help your score, and the negative account gets removed from your report. So, it's perfect. How do you remove American Recovery Service from your credit report? Well, I'll tell you. The Fair Credit Reporting Act gives every person the power to challenge information on the report. So it starts there. The knowledge required to do this is, I should say, can be a bit more involved than it might seem. I'm not saying you shouldn't learn how to do it or you couldn't, but be prepared that you may be investing weeks, maybe months, really learning how to do it properly. However, you could hire a professional to handle it for you and ensure it's done properly the first time, and honestly save the extra time. We're happy to take care of it. We've dealt with American Recovery Service accounts many times, and they regularly have issues, and we've helped numerous clients deal with them. We'd be happy to take care of it for you if you'd prefer. How can you get American Recovery Service to stop calling you? Yeah, as I mentioned before, they're going to be calling you if they haven't already, because it's their attempt to collect the debt they've purchased, okay? Which means the only reason they'll stop calling you is if you settle your debt with them, or you work with a company like ours to potentially have them removed from your report altogether. Will American Recovery Service try suing or garnishing my wages? So American Recovery Service suing is actually unlikely. It can and does happen, I'll be honest, but in our experience, it's rare. There are a lot of laws around how long they can sue for, what they can do if they win, and it's just a long process. However, if we're able to find certain issues with the account, they won't be able to collect it all, which another benefit of using an expert. What are my rights when dealing with American Recovery Service? Well, you have the right to dispute any of your debt that American Recovery Service has purchased. And that's because American Recovery Service is governed by the Fair Debt Collection Practices Act, FDCPA. And like I referenced before, the Fair Credit Reporting Act, FCRA. Now, I'll tell you, these acts look confusing and complicated when you dig into them, but they provide a great deal of power to the consumer if you know how to use them properly. But if you don't have time to research these acts, that's not a problem. That's what we're here for. You can call us today. We can discuss your options. And we look forward to hearing from you. Again, you can find our number in the description area below. Thanks.